You will find the IBF World Championships 2021. We are in the middle of a fabulous championships. In fact, we're in the final day and we are in the team event. The IBF World Championship teams, this is the semi-final matches between Malaysia and the Philippines, and we are underway with Team Malaysia already proving to be a force to be reckoned with. Joining me tonight, Dom Barrett, the European team captain. Dom, good evening, sir. How are you, my friend?
Very well, thank you very much for having me. Yeah, it's really exciting to be back in such a great venue, and what a great event we're having tonight.
Yeah, we've got a great lineup of stars on the lanes tonight. This is the first of the two women semi-finals. USA and Finland coming up next for the women. Then after that, we're going to be moving on to the men's, and then we will be moving on to the mixed teams. I'll run you through who's doing what, where and when. But at the moment, Team Malaysia are up on the lanes and they have just been re-oiled, and then coming in now for Team Philippines, leaving the spare there on the left-hand lane, and of course proving to be fast action. Now, if you are joining us tonight for the very first time, where have you been for the last 4 nights? Because we've been here in this purpose-built arena in Dubai, really bringing the world a brand new way to look at bowling. Dom, what's been your experience over the last 4 nights here in Dubai? It's been something that's, well, very different from what you normally experience, isn't it?
Yes, I've bowled all around the world on PBA tour, bowling for my country, England, and nothing like this. Nothing, you know, so exciting being outside, getting to see such a different environment that we compete at Expo here in Dubai. It is a fantastic event, and hats off to the IBF for putting it off.
Yeah, well, indeed. So Team Malaysia, Team Philippines are the women's semi-final first match that we're seeing here on the outside court. Now, we are in the sports, fitness and well-being hub here in Dubai. This is an area where people can come and play sports all throughout the course of the day. There is a lot going on. There are superstars of all sports genres and ages coming here, of course, bringing the world to its knees. As the like for instance, the other night, Usain Bolt, we've got AC Milan, Manchester City. They are here as their soccer academies just behind the main arena here. Now, Dom, what do we know much what do you know much about the Malaysian or the Philippine teams here tonight as we get underway in this first semi-final?
Well, the Malaysian team have been notoriously strong throughout you know, all of the 2000s onwards, I believe. I think they went in and done a great job early 2000s building a national team, representing in the Asian Games very well, and from growing a pretty, you know, bowling team that wasn't really very well established back then to one of the strongest teams that competes here internationally right now.
Well, of course, you can see the action online, on TV, and wherever you're watching around the world. But there is a new way to watch the IBF World Championships. If you have a smartphone, and let's face it, most of you listening to my voice right now probably will, you can download the app. It's free, by the way. What I'm going to be telling you now is not charged. Strike Cloud 360 is the app you look for on your App Store or your iOS version of that. And you can download Strike Cloud 360 courtesy of YBVR, who have created a virtual immersive experience, the best VR company in the world. It's not virtual reality, it is reality in a virtual way. You can have 360-degree views of this amazing arena. You can change the camera angles yourself. You can see that angle that we're looking at here, or you could choose another angle to look at, whatever you choose. It's up to you. You can do that on your smartphone, you can do that on your laptop, on your computer as well. So download the app Strike Cloud 360 to find out a whole new way to watch the world of bowling. Dom, have you seen this Strike Cloud 360 app? Have you seen it yet in action?
Fortunately, I haven't quite yet. I've been here with you, kind of doing a lot here.
I'm going to show you. I've got it on my phone. And as we carry on with this game, and we'll talk about this, I will show you the Strike Cloud 360 app and show you what it can do.
We're just looking through this first 4 frames. You know, I think Malaysia are looking really strong. It doesn't look like Philippines have really settled in just yet. There's been a couple of really good split spares by both teams. But on that left lane, if I'm right in saying so, I believe Philippines were a higher seed going into this, which means they got choice of lane. They chose the left lane, which I think has a little bit more hook in it, as balls. Generally, there's one lane that hooks more than the other, especially in an arena setup. And from what I understood from Team USA, after talking to their head coach earlier on, Brian O'Keefe, He looks at a lot of stats. I think most Americans and sports stars do. I certainly do as well. Brian believes that most of the wins have come from bowling on the right lane.
Well, this is what last night we saw the bowl off, and AJ did a performance from out of nowhere almost, as he got the victory for the US in the trios last night on this very right-hand lane, the one that's closest to us. We are seeing some action here on the lanes tonight. We are seeing Team Philippines and Malaysia, and the Malaysia team's very vocal, the girls. Also in the crowd tonight, the Team Malaysia supporters are there in force. There they are, and there's a tiger. Oh, look at that. She's bought the smallest tiger she could possibly find. There we go. We'll see if we can get a bigger one by the end of the day. Now, Dom, you've got a little running score going on right next to me. You are you're the Wizard of Oz as the scoring goes. Tell us a little bit what you're looking at right now.
As you can see there, the graphics come up for the scores. It's Philippines at that big 9 miss in the 4th frame. Even with the early struggles, they were marking every frame and making sure they were getting their spares. This one's also a tough one. This is called a washout. It's the 1-2-10. The ball went a little bit wide on that left-hand lane. Didn't get to make up the ground back to the head pin into the pocket. So we have quite a tough spare conversion coming up.
Now we've seen a lot of bowlers, and of course, what happened there, Dom? We just saw was that a slip? Would you imagine that's something that we wouldn't expect to see? None of the pins were taken out there.
I think that's a lot of nerves, perhaps a bit of inexperience. You're up against one of the powerhouses of female international bowling and male international bowling. Give Malaysia all the credit there, and I think that's just the pressure of Malaysia starting off with that spare conversion 2nd frame, sparing that split, and then the 3-bagger after that, really putting the pressure on Philippines. Make that 4. Make that
4. Malaysia look like they are doing what they need to do to get into the team finals tonight. Now, tell us a little bit of the difference between, Dom, the trios that we saw last night and the teams. I know obviously there's another member of the squad, but how does that play out tactically in what we're going to see this evening?
That's not a great deal, to be fair, because in trios you were able to have 4 team members. You got to pick 3, so if someone didn't feel very comfortable, you could take them out. Or, but you still had 4 people up there, male and female, cheering on the team, being a part of the team, which I think was really nice aspect of the trios last night. So, moving into the team, there's a couple of different ways of bowling this this game. You have in the format, it's a little bit different. So when we bowl Baker, usually you have 5-man team, everybody shares the 10 frames, you do 2 each. Now what's very important with this week is if you bowl the 10th frame, you also bowl the 9th frame and the 5th frame and the 1st frame. So you bowl 4 frames. You're really looking at your key bowler leading off in the 1st frame.
Action posse up all the way. So this is a race to 1. Well, a best of 1. Basically, the first one to win this one will go through to the finals. Then it is the race to 2, as we call it, in the final match. It's a slightly different figuration of how it is worked, but that will apply into all the finals that we'll be seeing this evening. So, as I said, the next semi-final for the women coming up next is USA. Team USA taking on Finland. And then we move into the men's semi-finals tonight. We're going to see Singapore and the Philippines. And then we have Malaysia and Korea in that super playoff. That's going to be a fantastic game, of course, according to how that's gone this week. Then we're going to be moving into the mixed competition tonight. We've got Sweden versus Sweden in, so I pretty much think that Sweden might come through on one of those. And then Singapore and USA are the mixed teams later on tonight.
Great shot there for the Philippines, and they really need all of them now. They're already in a massive hole. We have 5 strikes in a row from Malaysia. So if Philippines were to strike out, they bowl 2-12. They would need help from Malaysia already, meaning they would need a couple of open frames and bad counts. But you never know in bowling. There's 3 frames left, and what a great game to kick off tonight.
Well, of course, the atmosphere is hotting up. We started a little bit earlier tonight. Last night we were on the lane as my strikes coming in. Malaysia are on fire tonight, aren't they? This is almost like Singapore last night when they started. Sorry, not Singapore, Korea last night when they started off their matches. They were fabulous and on fire as well. Now the players loving it. And the crowds are loving it as Malaysia striking down on the left-hand lane tonight.
Yeah, fantastic for Malaysia. Now they have 6 in a row. The wheels really do have to fall up in a big way for them to not win.
Something super dramatic is going to happen for it not to actually work.
But the confidence they're going to get from this game as well. Everybody's struck. Everyone's had a few strikes by now. They're going to bowl going into the 9th and 10th frame. They can bowl 280. They've only missed once on that right lane. Really proven to be a key factor, being the high seed, picking that lane, and they're still striking right now. Fantastic.
Well, the action proving to be a great piece of action tonight, as it has been all the 4 days of the finals. We started here on Friday nights, to Saturday. Last night we came, of course, to the trios, and now to the fabulous teams. Now, looking at the scores on the screen, mathematically, Dom, looks to be over this one, doesn't it? Physically, there's nothing more can be done, really.
Yeah, as you can see there, if Philippines spare this to strike out, they can only bowl 190. Malaysia already have 220 in the bag with the way the scoring is done. If you bowl a strike, you get 10 plus your next 2 balls, a spare, 10 plus the next 1. So what a great start from Malaysia. Real statement intent. Whoever's going to come through that second semi-final is going to have to bowl really well to get past this team. So
Malaysia, the first team into the finals tonight. That's a great start for them, and well done to Malaysia. There are the supporters tonight, the VIP rows at the front. They'll be here later on. And we've got Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, USA, Finland. They're all competing tonight. Now we get lots of questions about the game of bowling, and we'll try and get to some of those that I've received on social media over the last 24 hours. Most of them asking why I'm doing bowling. I'm joking, no. Most of them asking how different, we covered it a lot last night, but how different as a bowler, what you're hearing, Dom, is it to bowl on a lane like this than bowling on a lane that you would traditionally see inside?
I think as bowlers, I think we're quite accepting of different environments within a bowling centre. So being outside, getting to appreciate how amazing it is to be at Dubai Expo 2020, getting to really experience a completely different setting for our biggest stage, which is World Championships, playing for gold medals, and stuff we have to wait around for years to be able to be part of that national team like those Malaysian bowlers there. And I think we're just really trying to excel as much as we can into an environment that is so fantastic, just like this.
Now, Dom, you're the European captain. Team GB, or in the bowling state of it, well, how's the GB bowling prospects looking for the future?
This year we struggled. I think that might be a little bit harsh on us, really. We actually did quite well. We didn't get through many of the we got through the preliminary rounds, getting into like the quarterfinals, but didn't quite make it into the top 4, unfortunately. But lots of things for the British Champion Bowling Association teaming to be proud of. A good stepping stone into the future of what is great and fantastic is bowling is that anybody can do it. I think we saw last night some of the para bowling come over. Yeah. They did fantastic. We have the seniors or the masters, the over 50s coming up next week. Everybody can do bowling at a very high level, or you can go out and have fun and do it. It's just great participation support for everybody.
Well, Wong Mi Lam was the winner of the ladies para singles final last night. She was overcome with joy.